A lot of people will tell you do not trade the weekend price action. It's too choppy. There's no high probability trade setups. The volume's too low. Why would you trade it? Well, I am here to say I have traded the weekend price action in a very high probability trade setup. And my answer is this: give me a high probability trade setup, and every single day of the week, I will be ready and waiting to take that trade, whether it's a Monday morning at 8 a.m. or whether it's a random trade at 9 p.m. on a Saturday evening. I am here every single day getting these trades. I have my alerts, and it's coming down to that, right? Ready and waiting with that plan. I want to tell you what I'm looking for next. After taking the long trade, yes, the long trade on a weekend, we are starting to get a little bit of a rise to the upside. We've got our key focus on the CME Open tonight, right? So 11 p.m. UK time, we have the CME Open. And then as we start to go into Monday's price action of the London and then New York sessions, we're expecting some really big fireworks. Next week, we also have some big news data releases. So I am expecting a very big move to come next week. But yeah, with that said, I'll be talking you through what I'm expecting next, how and why I'll be managing this long trade, and really everything that you need to know to get ready for this price action. Because the last thing I would say here, getting ready and having those plans is truly the absolute key to success. If you do not have these plans, if you are not prepared, well, when price drops, you're going to be fumbling the move. You're going to fumble the bag, as they say. You're going to be taking the shorts at the lows. You're not prepared. Let me get you ready. Let me get you ready. So here we are looking at the chart. I want to talk you through. I'm going to try and summarize in 2 minutes. Let's see if I hit the target. In 2 minutes, I want to summarize the past price action so you have a very good overview of that, understanding the past price action so you can really use that key context to know what we are looking for next. You have to understand the past to trade the future. So real simple context building here, under 2 minutes. We had the failed auction of all-time highs. That was a failed auction of the high from around the middle of July, and we done the failed auction towards the middle of August. That was a simple, to be honest, short trade setup off of the failed auction of all-time high. That was a short trade that I took. Upon seeing the failed auction of all-time high, we obviously had some fractals, but so overall it was very simple. Failed auction of all-time high, short trade setup. We brought that down to our most crucial support zone, which was between $107,000 and $108,000. I mean, this was pretty epic, right? From 124 all the way down to 108. What happened next at $108,000? While everybody was fearful, I was out here quietly but patiently and absolutely doing so, buying that critical support zone. So again, around the 2nd of September, we were hitting $107,000 and I was building my swing long. At that point in time, I had, and I still have open, the failed auction short. So I have a short from $124,000 and now I had the long from $107,500. That is a short from the absolute high, a long from an absolute low. Both of them I was ready and waiting for with my plans. And it's not just having the plans and ready and waiting for it, right? But it's following along, putting your money where your mouth is and taking those trades. I then had the short from the high, long from the very low. And what were we looking at next? Well, I was explaining during the course of the week last week how I had not taken any profits on the long, not taken any profits, not taken any profits, not taken any profits. Even here, where I made a YouTube video, I was explaining I've still not taken any profits. And what happened next was key. So this is where I do not care about the numbers of news releases, but I am aware of when they are for the volatility. On Friday, 1:30 p.m. UK time, we were starting to come into the NFP. This is a key data release. Again, I don't care about the number, but I do understand coming in 11 minutes, we can get ready and waiting for that volatility. And as expected, the volatility did happen right on time. So you can see right on time, we had that volatility and we took out these highs. We made this high here, and with no hesitation, ready and waiting, I say this, no ifs, no buts, no maybes, only taking profit at the very high on the swing long. So as soon as we hit this high, again, there's no hindsight here. Check the timestamps. Fact check everything that I say here. Please, please, please. Fact. That just sounds so. Fact check everything, right? Verify everything that I'm saying. You can absolutely do this because I'm not hiding anything and it's absolutely real. Exact move of the high. I told the whole of the champions I'm taking profit. Some people say Daniel was the actual one who caused the wick. I would say I'm not directly, of course, the only one causing the wick here, but all we can say is every little helps. And so in an indirect fashion, of course, we actually were helping to create the wick and bring price down here because of the taking profits on our long trades. So that was a kind of funny one when you think about it. In essence, that is true. Anyway, we then, I mean, just think about it. I've lost my 2-minute marker, right? We're moving on to 3, but give me 1 minute more. We had the failed auction from the absolute high of the move. We brought that failed auction short down to the absolute low of the move for the swing long trade off of 107.5. From there, we took profit at the exact high of the move before the crash. The exact high of the move, we were taking the take profit right on that data volatility release. Around 2 hours later, you got the big crash to the downside. I then done a live stream on Friday and I was saying, I am not taking a long trade here on Friday. What am I going to be ready and waiting for? I'm going to be waiting for the long trade. I then took a long trade yesterday on Saturday evening. Typical Friday move is here. Why I would not buy on a buy on the Friday. You always get given a better entry. Then on the Saturday, I have taken a long trade here. I even give my stop loss, right? What more do you need? I'm telling them, the champion members, I've entered the long. I've told them where the stop loss is. Like everything that you need for this trade, I'm handing on an absolute plate. So yeah, took the long trade. Here is the posts. Stop loss 109.8k. Well, here we can see where we are today. Now trading from that long trade entry, which was literally given at the absolute low here as we were hitting $110,000. Again, fact check everything, but you know, that's literally the absolute truth. As soon as we were hitting into $110,000, I'm taking my long trade here. I'm telling the champion members exactly where the stop loss is. And once again, we've done it again from the, you know, I mean, what else can I say there? The take profit of the move at the absolute high, and then the long trade given up the absolute low of the move. Like it's safe to say I'm on absolute fire. So that then gives you a little bit of context building of why we put in the exact high, why we put in the exact low, why I took profit at the exact high, and then where I added into my long trade at the exact low. And that is not to brag. That is to, I really hope, inspire you. This market has full precision, no random pivots. Everything is just so precise. And if you truly listen and learn to what I teach, you can absolutely mimic my results. Of course, I have to say disclaimers. Trading is not easy. A lot of people lose. Well, a lot of people don't even care to listen. That's a big reason. But the majority of traders are out here losing money, throwing it away. Don't trade the weekend price action. There's nothing good. Listen to the right people and you will start to see different results. Anyway, I digress, and I'll say move on to then what are we looking at next? What are we looking at next? So, well, first of all, I think one simple thing that we have to look at, of course, is the CME. So the CME closed on Friday. We had that close $112,000. So let me give you the exact location of where we can be expecting this more or less. So the Friday. So we're going to have the CME gap to around here because there's a discrepancy in price, right? So when the CME is trading at 112, we're looking at around 111.6, right? So we're going to be saying that the CME gap is going to be, we'll look at that, towards the potential top of the local range here. So how I got into my long was very simple, by the way. I recognize, well, this is a range low. This is a range high. And so I did not want to take the trade here. I did not want to take the trade here. I was waiting for Friday to close. I thought I'll probably get a better entry during the weekend or the start of next week. And so real simple, what happened was we had this wick down. We closed back above. Again, this took a lot longer than what I would have ideally liked, but there was no reason to close. At this point, I had the entry off of the fake out of the low. I had my stop loss, 109.8. Okay, invalidation, and I have a target, right? My target is going to be the other side of the range. Really, this is a great risk to reward ratio. You can see 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Really clear stop loss again, given in advance. Says, you know, this is 5:30 UK time. At 5:30 UK time, where are we? We were literally right here. As you, full understanding of taking the long, full understanding of the invalidation. We can continue to trade this range. What I will say, of course, what we can do at this range highs is, of course, I would say we open ourselves up for a short and we can continue to trade this range. I'm not against that, right? It's a simple range low, range high, range low, range high, range low, range high. At one point, we're going to break this. We're going to lose the range low, and that's where I'll be looking down towards, I think will be looking for $109,000 would be my next immediate target, because we, of course, just have that simple CC coming in here. So from low to high, you would have, I'll be probably looking below, just below these 4th of September lows. So if we do lose this range low, I would be looking for around $109,000. Okay, so if we lose that range low, but of course we've gone from range low to range high, from range low. If we break the range high and we start to get an actual proper breakout here, I'm not really that. Again, we can be aware of 112.5, but for me, it's not really a major level. I will be more interested in $113.5 thousand, which will be a fake out of previous week high. And again, reactionary based trade. If we get a short trade set off of 113.5, I'll happily take that short. Moving on, I'd be looking towards 115.3. So that's kind of the way that I approach trading. You can see, I think one of the key things as a trader is knowing when to trade and when not to trade. I knew not to trade the Friday evening price action. I knew I'd get a better entry given. Okay, so I'm remaining patient. I'm not taking a long, I'm not taking a long, I'm not taking long. Bam. We got to move down to the range low on the Saturday. Again, how many traders do you really think are here on a Saturday evening? Okay, for me, this is 8 p.m. Of course, in UK, this is 5 p.m. Most traders, they're not here. They're taking the day. And again, this is not, I understand the understanding of having that balance. Of course, balance is key. But I was balanced. I was. It's not like I was all day in front of my computer on the Saturday. No, I had other things going on. I was out of the house, But I had the alert, and that's the key. I had the alert go off. It just took me like 10 minutes to analyze the price action. I decided, okay, yeah, this is enough for the long trade. I had the long trade, I had the invalidation, and now I've got the profits. So yeah, you can enjoy your weekend, you can have the balance, but when an alert goes off, it takes 10 minutes of my day. I don't even need to be in front of my computer. I actually wasn't. I was out of the house. I was eating in a restaurant. I had my alert. I took 5 minutes to look at the chart. I entered my long, I entered my stop loss. And again, now I'm waking up with the profits. I have hit my take profit one on this trade. That trade is profit whatever happens next. So it was a nice way. Go to the restaurant, make the trade, make the profits. Hey, I essentially had a free meal and more. So anyway, I digress. And what I'm looking at next is, really simple. This is the local range to trade. I am not super bullish here. I am neither super bearish here. I am happy to trade this market either way. You give me the long trade setup, I'll take the long. You give me the short trade setup, I'll take the short. I know if we break out of this range, I would ideally like to see above the current week, but previous week high, above here towards 113.5. I know if we break the lows here, I have my first target around 109. And if we lose 109, I will be looking down towards new lows towards 106, $105,000, right? It's just a simple case. I'm happy. I just want to emphasize that I'm happy to see the market dump. I'm happy to see the market pump. Why? Because I know how to make profits on both sides of the market. I can make profit on the longs when we drop to support. I can make profits off of the shorts when we rise to resistance and get the fake outs. Listen carefully and try your best to follow in my footsteps. If you struggle, then Champions Group by, making your life even easier, we can say. I want to say one thing before I end, and that is, of course, we have been doing the $10,000 giveaway in connection with Bybit. We have now started to do a $10,000 giveaway also with connection with Blowfin. So if you have Bybit, if you have Blowfin, you can enter now $10,000 giveaways along them both. Blowfin, by the way, is a non-KYC exchange, and it is globally available. So your UK, your USA, your Europeans, everyone worldwide, right? That's kind of globally available, non-KYC. That's the reason why we've partnered with Blowfin, because there was a lot of requests for that non-KYC option. Of course, Bybit follows the regulations very well to the full stop sort of thing. So that's what a lot of people like, but a lot of people don't want the KYC or they just want an exchange which is globally available. And that's why we've partnered with Blowfin. If you are interested in that new $10,000 giveaway, well, you can of course get access to that via the Discord, or I'll leave something down in the description. But just to make you aware of that, and if you already do have the Blowfin account, you can just write us a message here under customer service in the Discord, and we'll help you out each step of the way. Anyway, apart from that, anything else I wanted to mention here? I do not think so. So I will just say this. Well, I hope you've enjoyed. I hope it also can inspire you, because however proud and, honestly, this is a proud feeling that I get, and it's hard for me to manage that ego on top of just showing you what's possible, because of course I am very proud of my trading. I'm very, very happy, but I need to try and, I'm also understanding, these trades, they're not who make me as a I want to remain that humble. There has to be a balance, just as like on the weekend balance, in trading, we have to balance out that ego, wanting to win, wanting to be right, but also just remaining humble. And the market can humble us at any time, right? That's why we take profits. That's why we protect ourselves. I can be wrong on any trade. And again, when I am wrong on my trades, I make videos. Hey, I was wrong, incorrect, cool. So I'm not here just cherry picking trades. These are the trades that I've been taking. These are each and every trade. That long from the low, I did not take any more trades during this section of the chart until my take profit at a very high, and then the new long at the low. So I'm not cherry picking. I didn't take a long here that failed. I didn't take a long here that failed, and now I'm only talking to you this long. No, that was the one and only trade that I took here. So like, there's no cherry picking. When I take a loss, I'll happily share. But likewise, when I take the wins, of course, I'm going to celebrate and hype it up a little bit, because I'm very happy and proud of the way I trade. And I want you to be on the same level I am. And I know that if you listen carefully, if you follow along to the Discord, to the whole massive thousands of hours that I've put into this whole course, not just myself, but the other coaches as well, Igor and Severin, like we've put in a lot of time and hours into making this like perfect, the best it can be. Anyway, I digress. And I say, if you want to see more, you know where to get it. chartchampions.com. We'll be happy to join you into our family, into our community, and raise you up to the next level. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. I thank you ever so much. And yeah, that's me signing out. Ready and waiting for the CME Open tonight and this local range. Well, I will continue to trade this range. When it breaks, we know the breakdown target. If it breaks to the upside, I know the breakup target. I'm happy to see that break either way. Thank you ever so much. Hope you've enjoyed, and that's me signing out. Goodbye.